Hello, 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 hello. That takes so long to do, but it's so worth it. I love it. Hey, Nemo Xiong here. And I'm not looking cute, but I really wanted to come out here and speak with you here. I think this message right here is coming at you. I see you over here, Amy. I see you, Muriel. Good to see you. Great to see you here. Hey, Alex. I see you. I see you. And I see you because right now I am in the place where I want to be seen, and I'm choosing to be visible right now. And there's something I want to share with you more from the standpoint of I realize that I am stepping up onto my next level. I have a distinction between next level and next steps. And whenever it comes to the next steps are typically things that we know that need to get done. They're in line with our goals and they're kind of like continuing down the path that we're on. And next level is literally just stepping up the game that we're playing or choosing a totally different game in general. And typically what I find is when I myself am choosing to play at a new level, I find myself running through the same patterns of hiding, patterns of wanting to look good, patterns of not knowing like how to express it, and patterns of not knowing where my positioning is. Like, do I come in as someone who's got it all together, or do I come in as someone who's like, hey, by the way, I'm still figuring this out? I've decided to go with the latter. So what I want to do here is actually use this as an opportunity to reconnect with you all. I am feeling just really, I guess, really positive about life and how things are going. And at the same time, I know that there are some things in the back of my mind that I'm afraid that you'll find out during the course of this next level. And I just want to just kind of like put it out into the world, play from a place of me just like living into perfect vulnerability, being perfect protection, so I can get my work done. And I say this here, you all are welcome to be in witness of me, but as I'm sharing this here, I invite you to think about, to make this useful for yourself. The things that I share are personal to me. They're real to me right now. And I wanted to type it all out beforehand and then maybe make like this nice little post and have it all grammatically correct and all that. But I realized that if I went that way, I wouldn't really, I might miss out on what is really behind, the mindset stuff that's keeping me from playing at the level that I really, really want to. So I'm here to share with you, but I invite you not just to listen for me. And I'll let you know right now, one thing I do not need any cheerleaders. I don't need any like rah rah, you can do it. That's not it. What I do need is just to be here with you. And I invite you, if there's something in your world or if there are areas in your world that you are hesitant that are keeping you from moving into your next level, keeping you from showing up fully as you are, I invite you to look at this as a tool or an opportunity or something that you can use in which to move past that and get done with the work that you really want to do. So I think the first thing here that is really showing up for me, and just so you know, I'm not going to, like, there will be more people who come on. I'm specifically not going to address you, but just know that, like, you're in my heart and I see you. But right now I'm just going to really be here with you all. So the first thing that I really think that I really want to put out there is there's this feeling of, at this next level that I'm going to, it involves me doing a lot of things that I've been wanting to do for over a year and a half. So there's an element of being exposed that is really playing out. But along with that element of being exposed, there's the element of, wow, this really, really, really needs to be good. This really needs to be good because it's been a year and a half, 2 years since I've been saying that I'm going to be bringing people together through conversations and through all these different types of experiences. It leverages the learnings that I've gotten over the last 2 years from being an entrepreneur, doing coaching, having individual coaching sessions as well as group coaching sessions, and all the trainings that I've done along the way, and the uncomfortable elements that I've allowed myself to take on over the last 2 years. And so this is, in a lot of ways, it feels like, okay, Nemo, you're about to put it on spotlight. It better be good. And once that thought comes in, I run away and I'm like, okay, well, let me just do a little bit more research. Let me listen to a little bit more here. Let me try a little bit more in kind of like in the shadows, right? And I want to call that out there. I think that the thing for me is that this is something that, as you know, my mission is to bring together a truly inclusive and empowered world. And it is deeply, deeply, deeply just resonant for me to make sure that I'm doing that. And when I say true inclusion, it's a world where we're celebrating and valuing the things that make us different. A world where we can bring out our uncommonalities and use that for a great purpose. The world where we can bring out our unique strengths and use them with one another. And I think I lost sight of that. I think I lost sight of that for a while. Not in a very explicit way, but in a way that actually kind of slid up on me. I lost sight of it from the standpoint of taking on the moniker of what is it like to be an entrepreneur? What do I need to say for people to understand what I'm doing? What do I need to say to get more clients? What do I need to say to play at a bigger level? What do I need to say so that like as I continue to grow, others will understand it and I can continue moving forward and so on and so forth. And there was this whole element of like Nemo as a people pleaser, Nemo as a chameleon showing up. Because I'm really good at it. I'm really good at being with people and being what I feel people want from me. And I think that over the last part of what I have been resistant against is showing up in a way that wouldn't be in alignment with what I truly believe, and instead would be trying to pander or cater to a large group of people because that's what it seems it should be done. Especially when I'm moving from working with people one-on-one into moving with people like in a group setting. Nowadays, my one-on-one coaching is like $20,000 to work with me for 6 months. It's a really fun game that I'm playing now, but it's like I now have to learn a completely different game as I'm working with people in group settings and bringing in community and finding new ways to really serve my outliers, pioneers, and mavericks. So it's just really, it's challenging me in a new way. And I think a part of that there is, well, if I'm playing at this new level where I'm specifically looking to bring people together and not just pull out the truly inclusive or the empowered areas, there's an element of it that's just real for me that I'm like, okay, am I willing to be seen there? This morning I sent my coach a text message, and one of the ways I've found myself journaling is that I send him messages in the morning or every other days. And his name's Chris Joseph. He's been absolutely phenomenal, and it's a really big part of me showing up in the world fully in the world, and then also being able to honestly be able to get paid to be me. To be able to know how I can add value in the world and capture that value in some way, shape, or form, so that I can sustain myself doing it. I think part of this is what I don't want you to know about me right now is that I'm experiencing the ups and downs of cash flow. Right? So the beginning of this year was really, really strong in terms of bringing in new clients, bringing in new one-on-one clients, and clients who excited me, who were excited to do the deep work of showing up as who they were and had missions out and that were just so incredible. In fact, I'll go out and share, I'll just share one thing here because this is a practice of mine, to share more about the incredible things that my clients are up to in the world. I have one client who is, it's actually weird for me to say client. This doesn't feel like, it feels like there's a stronger connection than just like a transactional thing. So I have an outlier, pioneer, and a maverick that I work with, and she's in the community. We get to work together one-on-one, and over the last few months here, she's created so much in her life. Where recently we were talking, she created an opportunity to be featured on a TV segment. And when they got done with this segment, the producer came around and said, "Hey, would you like to have your own show?" Like that's the kind of stuff that I'm creating right now. That the people I'm working with are creating. Those are the kind of things that outliers, pioneers, and mavericks are doing out there in the world. And I personally have not been given that enough life into the world. And I'll be practicing and learning how to share more of that there, because I think it's also in service of you and other outliers, pioneers, and mavericks as I do this. What I can't just do before I move on, what I cannot just do is just say here goes the good things she did, check the box. Why this is so exciting to me and why I am so committed to playing at this next level here is that the way that she showed up was from a place that was open, authentic, vulnerable. She was on her mission, and she spoke her truth in the moment. Not the truth that was popular, not the truth that, we were talking about it, and she's like, well, what? Hold on, I want to make sure I'm getting to the core of it. She spoke her truth in an area, in an environment where it may not have felt safe for her to do it. Where she might have been asking herself, or others might have asked her, who are you to do this? And when you watch that TV segment, you just see like, oh, of course, like, she's the shiz little bang. That's what it is. And this is just a step along her overall journey that's continuing on from there. So what I don't want you to know about me is that going back to this year, I want to make sure I'm not losing my core area. I'm happy to share that message with my client. Like, it's wonderful to see how this outlier is making things come to life. And as I've been making the business shift to go from a one-on-one coaching practice to a business and what now feels like a company and enterprise that's has way more weight, like just more scale to it all. I have been I've seen a decrease in the number of new coaching clients that I've had. And so that one, what feels great is I'm renewing with the clients that I have. We're continuing our relationships, and we're digging in even deeper. But there's a part of me that comes out here, especially as I talk to people and I get counsel from different sources around how do I show up for people and really, really come from a place of integrity, while I'm also at the same time watching my bank account fluctuate, right? And I realized that is something that I needed to come out here and, well, that's one of the things that I didn't want anyone to know. That I felt like in order to really do this and to be effective for people and to really share and have impact, like, I need to be able to, like, confidently go off and say every single week, every single month, like, I'm just seeing trajectory this way. Growth and growth upon growth upon growth. And here goes the thing. The growth is happening. This is the part that is harder for me to articulate, and I'll work on it because that's part of my job. But the growth is happening. The growth is happening. I feel it. I truly feel it in the exponential manner. I could have continued to get one-on-one coaching clients and continue to increase my revenue and my income through a very specific way. But I knew that I wanted something different. And I had gotten enough of a runway to start playing in a different place. What I'm realizing now is that, like, I'm learning how do I serve at this new level. We've done some group coaching conversations that have been recorded, and I'll share out with each of you. I've started building out my email list. I have a podcast that's now out there, and now we have a Facebook group that is now becoming actually active, not just a place, but a place where the community can all come together. And it's been months of me figuring out what exactly do I mean by the Outlier Pioneers and Maverick Tribe. What's the difference between an audience and a tribe and a community and a squad and people I'm working with one-on-one? Like, these are all the different nuances that I've been looking for and trying to find. And the other week, I shared a video of a question I asked to Gary Vaynerchuk that was promoted on his social media channels. And I'm going to talk about the video itself right here versus the promotion. And the video itself was basically this. Was around, hey, Gary, how can do I have to show up as the expert? And he's like, just position yourself as the truth. So that's what I want to do here. That's what this is. That is me coming out here and kind of laying out the playing field so that it can just be, this is where we're growing from. There's wonderful things that are happening, and it feels edgy for me to not just come out and just be like, yes, let me tell you about how awesome my day was. And the fact of the matter is, it still is quite awesome. Like, today's my birthday, and I'm celebrating, and this is like, I know that at any moment I can just come out here and just talk and share and say hello. And so all of those things are wonderful. And as I start this next year in my life, I want to make sure I'm doing it from the place of from setting my own foundation. And what I found sometimes is that in order to raise up even higher, sometimes I have to let go of the things that are anchoring me. And I can even feel it right now. If you can see, there's a genuine smile that's on my face. There's a lightness that's here because I no longer have to carry these around with me. And I do this in front of you for two reasons. One, because I have three actually. One, because I find that it's important for me to actually get out here and talk to you all. There are a lot of thoughts that are in my mind that are energetically really important to get out in that moment. And when I try and come back to it weeks or months later on, the energy isn't there, the impact of the message isn't there, and it actually isn't serving you as much as it should. The second reason here is because, like, I find it to be growth for me to be able to say these things in front of you or anyone else, knowing that there are some people who are going to watch this live, and there are a lot of people who are going to find this at an asynchronously. We're going to find this sometime in the future when I'm off doing great things, and it seems like this would have never been in my head, and yet there's a timestamp that this was also a part of my journey, and it is something that I want to make sure that I don't leave out of the process. I'm not someone who wants to just show you the highlights. I say to people, why are you, like, how selfish of you to only give me the smallest sliver of you, the smallest sliver that is your best, quote unquote, the smallest sliver that shows off only the great things about you. I'm selfish myself. I want it all. So I can't ask for that unless I'm doing it myself. And I think the third thing that comes up here is that for some of you out there, some of you outliers, pioneers, and mavericks, you might be facing something similar. It may not have anything to do with the specific words that I said, but there may be something else in your life where you're feeling that if they really knew you, if the truth came out, if they found out about this about you, everything would be over. Or you wouldn't really be able to keep your credibility. You wouldn't be able to keep your power, your leadership, your influence. And I wanted to share this video and come out here to be a representation of what might be available for you. But I think there's another part of this here, and I have to thank Sari Wild for calling this out first. If you're choosing to be more you and to build, lead, monetize a movement based on you and what you believe in the world, your unconventional truths, if you're choosing to not just hide as an outlier, pioneer, maverick, but to show up in the world and use that to elevate yourself and others to new places, there are prices to pay along the way. There's a cost and there's a burden. And I don't want to hide that burden. I don't want to hide that, there are mental ups and downs. There are days where your confidence wavers or your faith and trust and belief in yourself goes up and down. I don't want to hide that that there may be times where things look great financially and things may not look as good at other times. I don't need to hide that with you, because I want peers. I want others who are willing to go on the journey, who are willing to walk through the wilderness, knowing that they're going to get scratched and bruised and all that along the way, but on the other side of it, they'll be better off as a result. That's the game that I'm playing, and I wanted to make sure that I'm being visible enough for those of you who are playing the same game, or those of you who know what I'm talking about, to know that, hey, I'm amongst you, and I'd love to keep playing with you. And for those of you that are on the bridge and are on the brink of saying, yeah, I think it's time for me to I want to show up more as myself. I want to bring this to my company. I want to bring this to my clients, to my customers, to my teams. If those are to my family, I want to make sure that you know that this is also a part of it too. And that if you're experiencing this, if you haven't experienced it, there might be something along your levels that will show up for you in one way. And if you let's say this, if you are looking to really show up as yourself, I also want to be clear around what some of the prices may be. The prices, I guess I don't know. Some of the costs may be, and it's not to say that your costs have to be my costs. My things are because I don't want to be rejected. My thing is because I want to be accepted in so many different ways, and my number one fear is being alone. But I do think that at the end of it all, what I want to call out is that I experience a great amount of joy on a regular basis. I have a lot of freedom in my life. I choose my clients. I choose how I spend my time. I choose my impact. I choose my relationships, and I choose how I want to express myself. And I also choose how I bring in money. I have a lot of that freedom in my life, but it's it's not necessarily easy. There's hard work that's been done for it, but it's also made me better as a result of it. I just want to make sure that as I'm out here with you, and as you start seeing some of the new things that are coming out through, I almost said enjoyment, but it's really through nemoshong.com, like through Nemo Shong. You know, I'm not hiding. That's it. I'm not hiding what it takes. I'm not hiding. I'm not only showing you the good and leaving out the bad. But even through this whole thing, I can feel myself smile. I feel this levity of like, okay, now it's time to let's go play. So let me wrap this up here with a few invitations. The top invitation here is to go ahead and subscribe to my invitation list. You can go to nemoshong.com. There's a pop-up that comes up. You can just sign up, put your name in there. It talks about the Outliers, Pioneers, and Mavericks podcast. I'll be updating that soon enough. But whatever the invitation is, it might be a download by the time you get there. It might be an invitation to a conversation. Whatever it is, get on my invitation list, because right now what I'm doing is that I am creating our tribe. We are coming together and we are experiencing and growing together. What I've found is that you're seeing me right now, and I keep coming out here whenever I'm going to my next level. And I found that it takes visibility. It takes being able to be with the challenging emotions that are going there. And what I need, I'm coming here and I'm explicitly talking to you all here because it takes being witnessed by others for it to actually continue to move forward. And in the past, I've had coaches. In the past, I've been in groups, masterminds. I've had communities. I have a number of means of different ways of support. And now I'm looking to bring that out for each of you here. But there's something that you need to go through first. And so right now what I'm doing is just organizing different small group conversations. And I don't feel I'll make the invitation to any of you that are interested in being a part of a small group conversation where we can focus on you and get into your next level. Send me a message, right? But you're also going to notice that I can feel it already, that in the business I'm going to become less available through means of Facebook. You've seen it over the last few months. I've been less on Facebook. I've been out there working with people and getting that done. So if you're interested in this here, I want to make sure you know how to stay in this world. Because when I show up on through these means, it may not be me. It may not be, what I mean by that is it may not be me physically here. You might get a recording of something I did on stage, like Gary Vee in that Q&A session. You might get a recording of a coaching conversation that I had with someone who agreed to be recorded and shared out with the community. But that's how I'm really interacting with people. And I want to just make sure that I'm sending that invitation out to you and letting you know that I'm actually going to be you're probably going to see me even more than you've seen me in the past. And it's going to be less of me physically present with you in there, and instead being present with the people who've decided to show up for themselves. You'll get a chance to see that there. But I do want to make sure that I invite you to get the first-hand actions from there, right? So if you're an outlier, pioneer, or maverick, or you believe yourself to be one, if you're one of the first, one of the only, or one of a kind, and you're ready to just show up as you and let your magic out into the world, that is so fun for me. I love nothing more than to be a part of your journey and to support you in whatever way makes sense for you. All right? Thank you for being a witness of me here as I show up, as I go on to play at my next place here. Thank you for being able to be with me and to be a witness of all this here. I appreciate you, and I see you all. Thank you for seeing me. If you're interested, reach out. Go to nemoshong.com. Sign up for the newsletter. It's not what it is. Sign up for my invitation list because it's not. I'm not in the news business. But go to nemoshong.com. Go ahead and get supported there. And if there's anything about this message that really resonated with you, send me a message. You can leave a comment below, send me a message in email or direct message on wherever you get this, and let's just continue the conversation. I truly appreciate you. We'll go on from here. Be more you. Bye.